certified most accurate.
Good Thursday evening, I'm meteorologist Joe DiCarlo. Live look outside downtown San Antonio. A nice warm day ahead of our winter blast this weekend. 70 right now in San Antonio. It's 78 down in Cotulla, so a really mild evening setting up for us. We're going to have a mild night. Temperatures will mainly be in the 60s once the sun goes down. It's going to be pretty mild to start our Friday. But the big story continues to be that winter storm on the way for the weekend. We have winter storm warnings in effect for most of Texas, including the Hill Country. That goes into effect 6 a.m. on Saturday. We'll time it out for you, let you know what to expect as the storm moves in coming up.
Right now at 5, a winter blast incoming. People across the country brace for bitter cold. We break down what you need to know about roads and other resources this weekend. And tensions flare downtown as ice operations ramp up around the country and right here in the Alamo City.
No one should be threatened, harassed, or harmed for doing their job.
Nobody, not the president, and not any federal agency is above the law.
How people across San Antonio and local leaders are sounding off about immigration enforcement in the city and how local police play a role. Then the criticism growing across the country after federal agents detain a 5-year-old boy. Where that boy is tonight. And Adrian Gonzalez acquitted. What his verdict could mean for former UC ISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo's charges.
News 4 San Antonio at 5. We're here for you.
Tonight, bracing for a bitter winter blast. People in more than 24 states are preparing for a monster winter storm set to bring damaging ice and heavy snow. The storm could stretch more than 1,500 miles from the south to the northeast. Thanks for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Mandy Noel. Here in Texas, one of the biggest concerns is the danger of ice, which could make roads difficult for driving. Governor Greg Abbott has declared a state of emergency ahead of the freezing temperatures. He says the power grid is ready to support high usage this weekend.
The ERCOT grid has never been stronger, never been more prepared, and is fully capable of handling this winter storm.
Governor Abbott also says he's deployed the National Guard to help bring food and support to all Texans. Tonight we have live team coverage of the bitter blast. News 4 San Antonio's Phil Sterling is following how the city is preparing the roads and shelters for the frigid temperatures. But first, meteorologist Joe DiCarlo is tracking when we could see the blast hit and breaking down the timeline for potential ice. Joe?
Hey, Mandy. Yeah, well, we showed you this at the top of the show, the big look across the state and the winter storm watches and now winter storm warnings for much of the state as well. Still a watch for the Houston area, but they've upgraded it to a winter storm warning for our Hill Country counties, stretching all the way up to Amarillo, Dallas included in this. And again, it's not just a Texas storm. This is going to go all the way up to the northeast. So locally, here's the counties that are under that winter storm warning. It includes the Hill Country, Comal, Kendall, Kerr, Bandera, Real, Edwards, and Valverde counties. 6 a.m. Saturday through noon on Sunday. That's when the winter storm warning is in effect. We'll time out the ice threat coming up, and then the extreme cold watch. That's for everybody. That's from 6 p.m. Saturday through noon on Monday. So here's how it looked tomorrow morning. We'll have the clouds, but it's still going to be a mild day tomorrow. We're talking around 70 degrees. May see a little sun into the day, but it's mainly the later afternoon to the evening. May see a few isolated showers developing. Then it turns to the possibility of some heavy rain tomorrow night into Saturday morning. Some areas we could see some thunder, maybe even a little bit of lightning and heavy downpours. But again, this is all rain. As we head into Saturday, though, we'll have a little bit of a lull in the morning. The cold air will start to rush in. We'll have a lull midday, and then as we head into the evening, that's when we'll start to see that threat of some freezing rain across the Hill Country. Still rain mainly around San Antonio. It's wet roads through the day on Saturday, and then you see that pink start to move further south. Here's Saturday night, 10:30. This is freezing rain, a little mix possible as well. So freezing rain or sleet moving into San Antonio and then continuing during the overnight period. And then by Sunday morning, this is all pushing to the east. So our road impacts with the ice, here's the timing. This is Saturday. The morning looks good across our 4 zones. Then by midday, we'll start to be watching the Hill Country to see if we can see some pockets of some freezing rain. And then by the evening, That's when we do expect widespread freezing rain in the hill country. So we have the slick roads, the red flag there. We'll have a caution flag around Bexar County and San Antonio late on Saturday. And then Sunday, it's the early morning with the caution flags, and then through the day it will improve with the road conditions. So we'll time it out for you, talk about how much ice we may see, and talk about that big temperature drop coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Joe. And coming with the cold coming in, everyone is getting ready to wrap up for the temperature plunge. Local agencies are doing their part to make sure no one is left out and everyone is safe. News 4 San Antonio's Phil Sterling joins us live with preparations.
Mandy, I'm here in Boerne along I-10, one of the many places TxDOT officials say that their crews are spraying brine. They say that this was an operation weeks in the making. Crews are targeting bridges and raised roadways more prone to freezing. By the weekend, they'll work their way down to San Antonio. More than 300 TxDOT crew members will be a part of this operation, and they'll also open an emergency operations center to help coordinate the efforts. If you're wondering about being well stocked with food, HEB says it's ready, saying it regularly prepares for extreme weather and has workers rolling out food to aisles throughout the day. And for those experiencing homelessness, agencies like Haven for Hope are stepping up. Officials with the shelter say they're giving out winter gear like coats, gloves, and socks. They collected 2,300 items of warm clothing during a coat drive held 2 weeks ago. They also have outreach workers meeting with people outside the shelter, handling clothing as well, handing them out to homeless individuals. One visitor was happy Haven for Hope's closet gives her options.
I picked this out because I like, see if maybe I can create something for the weather this weekend.
If Haven for Hope runs out of shelter space this weekend, representatives say they'll send those who need shelter to other nonprofits opening emergency services. This includes Corazon Ministries. Now back to the road and TxDOT with its emergency operations headquarters. They say that that'll help them coordinate their workers with other agencies like San Antonio and Bexar County. Phil Sterling reporting from Boerne, News 4 San Antonio.
A major fire broke out at a southeast side apartment complex this morning. Fire officials say it started around 11 in a unit on Pecan Valley Drive. Maintenance workers were checking the unit's heater when it shorted and sparked the fire. Firefighters contained it to the unit's attic. One firefighter had major injuries. No one else was hurt. As cold weather approaches, they want you to use space heaters safely.
You do not want to plug it into an extension cord or a surge protector. It needs to go directly into the wall. And when you leave the room, unplug it. Don't just turn it off, because sometimes they will kick back on. And if you're not there and it's around something flammable, it can lead to a catastrophe.
Fire officials are also warning about the dangers of using an oven to heat your home. The San Antonio Fire Department says it's ready to handle any emergencies this weekend. And if you need somewhere to stay warm, the city will open several centers to keep people warm overnight starting Saturday. The city will have 6 overnight resilience hubs. They'll provide supplies, power and charging devices, and free Wi-Fi. City libraries, community centers, and senior centers will be open during the day to keep people warm as well. And we will be keeping you up to date throughout the weekend. Download our 4Zone weather app to get the latest updates sent straight to your phone.